Olá pessoal, hoje estamos em mais um episódio aqui da DfenseCast com uma participação mega especial. Hoje estou aqui ao lado do Rodolfo, sou
Boa.
Felipe Tomé e vamos bater um papo hoje sobre AlgoSec. No episódio de hoje, antes da gente começar esse bate-papo, queria pedir, curta aqui, compartilhe, traga seus insights como comentários e deixe seus colegas conhecer um pouco sobre o que a gente venha a conhecer aqui. Vai ser muito legal, eu prometo. Vai ser em inglês, mas com certeza vão ter algumas legendas aqui que o nosso time vai cuidar com o maior carinho para traduzir para vocês e acompanharem o conteúdo na íntegra e nos cortes que virão aí, né? Então, vamos lá. So, shifting now to English. Thank you, Gal. Thank you to be here. It's a pleasure to have you here, to share your insights, to share your knowledge, and share a little bit about how the AlgoSec represent to the marketing and what you were doing, guys. So, thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that, and I look forward for this session.
Yeah, good. So, in my side, Rodolfo.
Yeah, I'm right here. Well, it's my first podcast speaking another language that's not Portuguese, so I'm quite nervous, but let's bring it on. So it's up to you.
Let's go on. Yeah. So, talking a little bit about Gal is the product manager Americas for AlgoSec. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. Gal Yosef, based out in New York. I run the America's product management at AlgoSec, working closely with our customers, partners, and whatnot, really all across the Americas. And I'm very happy to be down here in Sao Paulo now.
Is as you're saying offline, it's not your first time here in Brazil, isn't it?
No, it's not. I've been here like, 10 years ago when I was traveling. Loved the country back then and even love it more today. So very happy to be here.
Good. Every time that I talk with somebody that is not living here, and then the perception is quite the same when the plane is arriving, and then see to the window, say, "Oh, São Paulo is that big."
Mhm. Yeah, I was shocked when I landed here. I was looking out the window, and the metropolitan around here is just like enormous, and I was really surprised. I mean, even for me coming from New York, New York is big, but Sao Paulo is like a lot bigger than that. And like, you got to have so many buildings and whatnot. So yeah, the metropolitan, I was very impressed by that. And, it's a full living city. So it's good to be here.
Yeah, it's good. But when we used to, who lives here in São Paulo, the city or city closed, we used to say they are taking 1 hour or more, 2 hours to go to the office. To say, how long? How come you took 2 hours to go into the office? But it's big city.
Yeah. Well, it took me an hour and a half to get from the airport to the hotel, so I can definitely get why it's 2 hours.
It's very complex. Yeah.
Just get to use it.
Yeah.
So, our language here in defense group, it's always the customer. So we have the customer centricity here. Our mindset is to put the customer in the middle of our discussions. Yeah. So I would like to start the conversation about customers. So what you see in the market for Americas, the main difference of the customer behaviors, doubts, or needs when you look into Canada and going down, America, Mexico, and coming to Brazil. What the main difference and the main similarities to the business?
And how about the industries too, like
Yeah.
financial, retails and all. Yeah.
So I think that if we try to look at it on, let's try to separate it into two different regions. We have the North America and we have the Latin America. I think that in the North America, if you look on it, it's there's a very inbuilt structure for the sales organizations, for the partner organizations, for the relation with the customers, the way we integrated with them, the way we run workshops with them, and how we can build the relationship and the trust with the customers. And I think that the financial world right now is a little bit changing and evolving, and we see the the changes in our day-to-day, basically. If I look on the Latin America side of things, it's a different way of running the business. It's a lot more intimate and a lot more close to the partner level as well as to the customer level. So, we just finished yesterday what we call Algo City. We had a whole event with our partners and customers out here in Sao Paulo and in Brazil. And you can see the personal connection and all of that between our sales team, our SE teams, our support team, to the customer and to the partner, and how integrated they are. It's almost as our employees are also their employees as well. So we are really bonding and connecting on that, and it definitely leads to our ability to listen, to understand better what are the challenges, what are the technology trends that we see, what are the transition in the industry, both in terms of roles and responsibilities for the network security team and the cloud security team, or the general cybersecurity team, as well as the trends in the technology that we see. Is it more new generation firewalls? Is it the SD-WAN? Is it the SASE, the MAS? Where is the traditional firewall sits, and so on?
Yeah, it's very interesting because our CEO here, Gabriel Paiva, he said once, like, here in Brazil, a person sells to other person. So what you said, yeah, here in Latin America, we have these relationships that's quite different. I think I have some experiences abroad, especially on the EMEA and stuff, like in the east side. But I feel that Latin America have this relationship as a partnership with the software houses and everyone that covers the information security trends that we have here. So yeah, that's quite interesting.
Yeah, the relationship it's very different. I think it's very different from the North America and the South, because I think it's cultural. Here in Brazil, people it's used to have more shaking hands and hugs and coffees and so on. Then it's quite different to the rest of the world, and so different business, different people.
Yeah.
We are, but in the core of the discussions, the need is the need.
Yeah.
So the companies has no feelings. It has people who needs to relate to another people, but companies have no feelings. But I will bring some comparison just to enter in the field of the solution, because I think you have a very good new and knowledge to share. When you look into some restaurants that sells hamburger, we have a very famous brand, global, saying that have a hamburger, but the sauce is the most thing that people are aiming to go in there to buy and eat that hamburger, because the sauce, because it's special, because there is no other place in the world who have this taste of the sauce. The sauce is special. What is the most special sauce of AlgoSec solution? What the customer go into AlgoSec and say, I need this?
So I think there are two levels again.
Yeah.
There is the technology level, and where we are able to differentiate ourselves from our competition, to lead the market, where we are able to be the first one in the market or stronger in the market. But then there is also the personal level, and the human being level, which again, I'm always speaking in favor of what the people I have surround me. Okay, and I know how important it is for us as a company to ensure that we maximize our delivery, maximize our support, maximize answering the customer problem challenges. And I can tell you that we have a whole customer satisfaction matrix that's going, and it's going all the way from the CEO of the company to the first or last employee in the company. All of us are fully on board on how can we ensure the customer satisfaction, how can we work closely with the customer. And we have different methodologies in the engagement process, I would say, that we get in touch with the customer and we bring more of that in touch and close and personal bonding with our customers to ensure that when we understand the challenge that they have and we listen to the challenge that they have, the way that we plan also to resolve and answer that challenge indeed meets the gap and the need. And from the product perspective, we're working very closely with our customers, running multiple workshops, presenting before we start the development what we plan to do, how we plan to answer. Let's say you have a challenge, you need that feature to be supported, you need that answer or that or whatnot. We present ahead of time, even before we have the engineering engaged, what we plan to do, how we plan to do. Tell me, does that answer your need? Do you think it's good? I get your feedback, we adapt it based on that, and then we start to execute. And after we develop that, it's not just that's it. We develop, we release, we run a beta with our customers, we work hand in hand with them, ensuring that what we have delivered really meets and maximize what they are after reaching their objectives and so on. So that's part of the relation around that.
It's bringing the relation between the companies into the product at all. Yes.
Eventually, yes. Eventually, when you have a very close relation with your customers, and he can, give you a call, ask you for a meeting, whatever it is, and come and say, listen, I got this and this and this challenge, or I have this and this objective that I got from my management or from the board. I need your help. Okay. And when you reach out with that, either I have a problem or I need your help, that's where you as become the best advisory for your customer. That's where you need to understand what is the challenge and what is the best way to resolve that challenge.
Yeah, it's interesting, but it's your second answer, and by the second time you said something about awareness, how you put some thoughts inside the people's mind, and then you get to the technical perspective. So for me, it's very good as leading a red team as a service consultants. We are always trying to explore vulnerabilities on the technical perspective and also from the people perspective. So it's very important bring this awareness by awareness of information security for these people, and try to get their needs, as you said, and then come back to the product itself and try to implement stuff that will be good for this customer and also for all the customers in the global. But getting a little more deep in the technical part, just a curiosity, what AlgoSec have by UBA, telling about behavior analysis. It's always a human, at least for now, behind the scenes. So what AlgoSec has there by automate the monitoring and identifying stuff near real time? Is there something that you guys thinking about this at all?
So I'll take that and I'll answer more as what's the secret sauce, if I relate to the question before. I think that on the technical level, what we do is we provide application connectivity anywhere. Okay, that's the end goal, that we're looking to be able to provide you from the application level an overview anywhere. And then it translates down into the different aspects of our visibility capabilities, for automation visibilities, and all of that into the network security level as well. So you can take it from the application level. You're able to define whether that application is critical for the business. Okay, so you have the business context involved here. Then you're able to set up the different flows that you have for that application. You're able also to see those different flows, which network elements, network components it touches, okay? And then when you need to have a change or you need to be able to address a critical risk or vulnerability, you know to prioritize that, not just by the severity, but also to have the business context of which application is the most important for your business continuity. And that's one of the secret sauce that AlgoSec is able to provide. And we do that across multi-vendors orchestration capabilities. So we work basically with all of the firewall capabilities and vendors today. from Checkpoint, Palo, Cisco, Forti, you name it, and so on, and all the way to the cloud with the cloud native as well. So we do that in what we call the hybrid network estates visibility. So it can be either in the on-prem or in the cloud or everything that's between.
Okay, getting piggybacking on this question. I remember in the beginning of the year, I had opportunity to go to the RSA, and then I remember on the entire event, I was pushed by AI, AI. And then I had no option to do not question to make this question. How AlgoSec is getting close to AI to fulfill the main needs of the customer.
So AI is a huge topic.
Yeah.
Everyone is after it right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's every once in a while we have a new buzzword. AI is definitely the leading one for now, which for a good reason. Okay, that there is very good fundamentals into the technology, and now the question is what's the best use cases to adapt it into our world. We're looking on a couple of them and already advancing them. Some of it's our ability to discover application. Okay, so to have an AI tool that's able to intelligently discover those applications. And those applications are, as I said before, in the hybrid state. So it can be applications that runs on the cloud, but then also access the on-prem or vice versa. That's one side of it. Another way we have is what we call the AlgoSec chatbot, which is an AI chatbot within our system across all of the product lines. So we basically have the AlgoSec suite, and within the suite, we have different models. And within the models, we have the AI chatbot that's able to help you advance your capabilities. So you can say to the chatbot, hey, I want to open an access from A to Z, and it will be intelligent enough to go and check what are the required steps to do that. And it will be also intelligent to go and create a ticket to that. And if the ticket falls under the automation, what we call zero-touch automation, it will fly zero-touch.
Oh, amazing.
Okay?
And you develop like LLMs. It's like
so the technology behind that is all based on that.
Ask like how many firewalls I have, stuff, and make a
don't tell the
graphic
secret
of some
sauce.
stuff. Yeah, that's. I don't think so. Though.
It's you know, when you try to think about ideas, that's pretty much the first one that comes in mind.
Absolutely.
So that's part of it. But yes, that's how powerful engaging or integrating AI capabilities can be into your current solutions, and how can it leverage it into the next step.
Yeah, good. When we look into this kind of activity, I had opportunity to manage teams that work directly into firewalls and the challenges to manage this, being pushed by audits, being pushed by compliance, and needing to had a lot of things. And this kind of automation is the dream of most part of the companies to have the opportunity. Are you seeing that it's look like a nice to have, or automation it's arriving to the customers really as a must to have? What are your perception to automation part of the solution? Is it nice to have, the customer seeing, or the must to have?
So the long story short, it's a must to have.
Yeah.
Okay. The short story or the long story is when you build the network security, or when you look back on the network security and their need to be able to modify rules, push rules, remove rules, and so on, you look on endless number of tickets and endless number of actions. Okay. And I'll give you an example based on a customer use case. Okay, we have a customer that runs thousands of tickets per month, that has a large team of network engineers that needs to execute that. And because the demand to change is larger and keep growing exponentially, he cannot hold all of that. So either he will need to triplicate his manpower, or he needs to be able to automate and engage technology to automate those processes and to make it more efficient. And he didn't change the manpower, but he managed to make the manpower that he has 10 times more efficient with us. So a good example with that customer is that he used to take 50 days SLA to close a ticket on average, which is very high even to the market. We usually see around 30 days. And he managed to take it down to 2 days. Okay. When you calculate that, and when you're an executive calculating the ROI on the time that you manage to save, that's remarkable. Okay. So to your question on the automation is a core piece, but it also have levels. It's not 0 or 1. There are what we call in our terminology 6 levels of automations, from basic automation to more advanced to all the way to the zero-touch automation. And also, you don't always want that it will have zero-touch automation in all areas. There are areas that you need to take a decision. You need to take a decision based on the situation, based on the business impact, based on many other components that eventually the human being needs to take care and take the responsibility and take the action. So there is a spectrum between no automation to zero-touch automation, and we are playing across all of that spectrum, providing to our customers, and they are able to tune in the right way that meets their business needs.
To balance the level of the automation.
Exactly.
When we are not working in this automation process, we for sure will overload the engineers, and humans being overloaded trends to mistake their actions. And Rodolfo is a huge specialist on offensive security, and how easiest could be an attack when the rules is not right applied, the firewalls is not well managed, or the team is overloaded to work on the best capacity.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, good question. Well, when we are already inside a network, for example, firewalls or routers or and so on, and this kind of tools are able to grant access or denied access. So when we are inside a phase called lateral movement, or trying to pivoting or do some privilege escalation from a common user for an admin user, we need to do this lateral movement inside the network. And with a firewall, a poorly configured firewall, it's quite, I don't know, it's a piece of cake. You were just there inside the network. Okay, you have a lot of levels to get inside the network, but we have a common penetration test methodology called gray box, where the customer needs to test from an inside perspective their vulnerability. So a poorly configured firewall, it's quite it's a piece of cake. So it's easy for us to get from one place to another, especially using PowerShell, Python scripts, a lot of stuff that a company needs to allow inside their network. So there are a lot of applications, a lot of stuff that we need to bypass, and this is quite easy. So make the firewalls on the routers configured, it's okay. And also you said about an overloaded team. We have a smoke curtain, I think it's in English, but we try to overload people when we need to get inside another part of the network, and then I have to vanish with the logs and so on. So overloaded people buying firewalls or buy anything, it's very good to us to do this deception. Meanwhile, I put something there, a backdoor or so on. So a pretty configured firewall is very bad for our...
One of the reasons of this question is because I had some big numbers about the human behavior, and 62% of all of security engineers it's working in almost burnout situation, and 60% of this 62% already had impact their environments, or bypassing process, or mismatch some configuration, something wrong they did intentionally or without intention. Yeah. So this kind of automation, I see that can avoid this kind of risk or mitigate a little bit.
So what you're touching is covering a couple of areas. It's covering, and I'll jump to the end. Luckily, we are able at AlgoSec to provide the solution for that, or that's part of the core value proposition that we provide to our customers. But it goes to our ability to provide an automated guardrails that you can define. You can define what's allowed and what's not allowed, and it will be enforced. But then you can also define the spectrum, as I said before. But we also have the ability to run an analysis and an analytic against that. And if for some reason there was a human error that's causing now a compliance breach, or that's causing a critical alert or risk, we are able to provide that. So the core, one of the core value that we're able to provide is a very advanced analytic capabilities that meets compliance, that meets your risk matrix, and so on. That based on that, you're able to run reports, you're able to resolve, to run remediation. We have automation into the remediation through the reports that we're able to generate. So think about how incredible it is that you're able to run a report that generates a list of risk on critical or different severity risks, and then in a push of a button, you're able to resolve it. So you're able to create a ticket or link it into what we call Fireflow. It's the ticketing system that we have with the work order and all of that. And if it flies on the automation guardrails, it will be automatically resolved. So that's how powerful the connectivity between the visibility, analytics, automation, and the application connectivity story is when you combine it all together.
Yeah, one of the because when the engineer is doing some change management process, and then they had a mistake to port 39 to port 239 by mistake, you get the error since the beginning, and then you can fix it. But there's sometimes that you need just to put 3 doors there. Three ports, and then you put the 4th one by mistake or intentionally, but you put 4 ports there. And then solutions like that have I have seen the value when you see some rules or part of the rules that had no hit on that. Yeah. And then ports without hit, it's most dangerous than a mistaken on the rules, isn't it?
So what you're describing is what we call a fat finger mistake, okay? Now, if that fat finger mistake is still within the rules that you allow, it's okay, unless it's falling under the risk and analytics matrix, and then it will trigger. If not, then it will leave there. Unless we are able to run an analysis against that to identify that. But if that one is breaching the guardrails, you will not be able to implement that because the guardrails will stop it and tell you, hey, you added a new or another letter to the port. Hey, you're trying to open an SSH. That's not allowed. So we will stop that before you even are able to implement. So what we are doing in what we call the workflow order is that there is an option to recalculate what you're planning to do. And before you are actually implementing that into the firewall, we are providing you what will be the resolution of that. Okay, so you're able in advance of time to forbid those human being errors and so on.
It's like a shift left for the firewall management rules.
Yeah,
cool.
It's amazing. Yeah,
and just I think about products and stuff. It's I know that my mind goes in some places that were not in the script, but just an advice about products. We have like a red team as a services consultants, but we are always think about products and how we can develop some stuff, and we are at the beginning. So just a quick advice about this white belt product development and structure on a company that's quite recent. So if you have some advice on develop security program by a general perspective.
So you mentioned earlier that you went to the RSA, and the RSA is a good example for how broad this market is, but you need to be able to define where are you the strongest and what is the core value proposition that you can provide. And when you find that, that's where you should focus. And it's very easy to navigate to other areas, but you should first be very strong at what you are very good at and then expand it. Okay, and if you are a new startup in this space, you need to find, first of all, your niche, where you find the unique use case that you're able to provide an additional or a core value proposition that distinguish you for the competition. Focus on that. Once you have that established, then you can go and expand and grow to other spaces. But if you will try to shoot all around, you will not eat not anything. Okay. If you know a specific challenge that you know how to answer, and you ran what we call in the innovation space an MVP, a minimum viable product, and you manage to prove that indeed there is a good answer and meet with the market need, then you can start to grow and expand and expand the granularity, feature set capabilities, and all of that. But if you are a very new startup and you found that, first of all, mine into that. Later on, find other use cases and so on.
Cool. No, cool.
Good
Sorry
advice.
about the side road.
No. Yeah, I was just thinking here about the product, how you designing a product, because one thing is to design a new product to fit a new need of the market, and then you have a new brand, a new company, and then in another side, like AlgoSec is a big company, very known on the market, consolidated, but innovating is a theme that it's in every table of vendor. Yeah. So how you see that AlgoSec works to balance between to be consolidated and in their market and in your market and in your product, and to bring innovation to the tool, because there's some tools or some brands that tries to innovate and to break the toy. Yeah. So how you see that AlgoSec balance the innovation and the consolidation of their products?
That's a beautiful question, and I'll give you two examples to how we do that. First of all, if we look on what we call the application connectivity posture story that I told earlier, we identified that 5 or 6 years ago, or even more. And it took time to find and really be able to meet 100% the market need. But once we managed to tune it and find it, it's leading us ahead of the game in terms of the innovation within it. The second side of it is more on the transition that we see the industry that's going through. And we see the transition from the traditional firewalls into what we call now the 5 core ingredients. So we have the SASE, MAS, we have the cloud firewall, we have the SD-WAN, and we have in the center the traditional firewalls. And we see more and more of our customers playing within that range of those 5 elements in different areas. You will see some of them are using the SD-WAN on-prem, some of them on the cloud, some of them are using within the cloud native firewall, some of them are using the new generation firewalls from the traditional vendor. So we see all of that, and we identify that, and we knew that it's a transition that happens. And when you have a transition, it opens an opportunity for innovation. And that's where we have our cloud security suite, okay, where we are able to onboard all of the primary cloud providers. So we work with GCP, AWS, Azure, and so on, being able to onboard and provide you risk analysis for all of those instances that you have in the cloud, as well as onboarding the topology of those clouds. So you integrate with Azure, AWS load balance or GCP, and we provide you the load balancer, the firewalls, and all of that. So you can have a full topology into that from the firewall level as well as from the application level. So you have that mesh of innovation between the application-centric approach into the low-level firewall capabilities on the network side of things.
Yeah, good. It's good to see that when you have consolidated solutions, good solutions, and evolving like the market. So it's very good. So any other question?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, I was looking into my watch and the time flies. Yeah, time flies. So I would like just to before we close, I would like to ask you kind to give a message to your customers here and to another companies that is still is not your customer yet, but what the message AlgoSec could bring to Brazil, their customers or not customers. No, the time is yours.
So I think that, if I go back to the application-centric approach story, and our ability to provide to the network security team and the cloud security team the capability to understand the business impact, and the business needs through the application level, and then it translates down into the different side through the cloud and the Kubernetes and the containers. And we didn't touch all of that story today, but also all the way to the automation side and all of that. That is the core capabilities. And if you are a current customer, you are very much familiar with this. And you know how much we care about your opinion and your feedback, and how close and dedicated we are as a group of people and as a company. And if you're not our customers yet, and you are in the challenge of the transition into the dynamic or into the hybrid network estate, as we call it, and you're looking to have the application approach that oversees and provides you the orchestration capabilities in a multi-vendor environment, that's definitely where we are able to provide you the core value proposition. I named earlier, an example of a use case for a customer that managed to continue grow with the number of tickets, but to reduce the SLA tremendously. That's one of the core ROI that the executive are chasing after. And if you're looking to bring that advanced capabilities into your organization, together with the reporting, compliance, together with the automation and so on, in the multi-vendor environment, that's where AlgoSec is the strongest. And last, and the most important, is that we have a set of people, men, women, and everything, extremely talented, that are there to support, to help, and to continue drive innovation and meet our customers' challenges and needs every day.
Good. Gal, as I said, time flies. So thank you so much to be here, to share your thoughts, to share a little bit about the AlgoSec. I know that AlgoSec had much more to show the products, to be close to the customers. So I believe this short time can bring the opportunity to the people to know a little bit more about the solutions. And we invite the customers or the audience to see a little bit more, chasing your social networks about the AlgoSec, and try a little bit to see could be better with the solution. Yeah.
So our call to action, my LinkedIn is very active. Feel free to reach out. And then if you need or want more information about AlgoSec, just type algosec.com and we'll be able to reach out to us. And feel free to reach out, and we're happy to do and appreciate the business with you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. So thank you so much. Appreciate your time, Gal. And cut it out. Bye-bye.
Switching back to Portuguese. Pessoal, espero que vocês tenham gostado. Realmente foi um papo muito legal. Tempo voou. Mas aproveitem e compartilhem com seus amigos, compartilhem com sua rede. Curta aqui o episódio, comente, traga mais dicas, traga mais recomendações para a gente, para conteúdos. É importante, a gente tem o nosso planejamento do DefenseCast em expandir cada vez mais o contato com todos vocês. A gente se despede aqui, eu sou Felipe Tomé, também sou presente nas redes sociais, @Felipe Tomé. Você?
Boa, estamos ali, Rodolfo Ramos de Almeida no LinkedIn, podem me seguir ali. E é isso, muito obrigado, curtam, compartilhem, falem o que acharam do nosso inglês aí, se precisamos de mais aulas do Duolingo.
É isso aí.
E vamos lá. Valeu, até.
Valeu, um abraço, pessoal. Nos vemos.